Welcome to this edition of the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with men's wrestling coach Marcus Cobbs. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You guys placed fifth at the conference championships last weekend down at Baker. Have four guys qualified for nationals. Your thoughts on the event as a whole?
As a whole, I think the guys wrestled well. It's good to have that stress off that we have national qualifiers now, but did have a couple guys that I felt could have performed better, and we could have had a couple more qualifiers. The twins, Alec and Caleb Mitchell, both placed in the tournament. Alec placed sixth in a weight class that was qualifying five, so he definitely went out swinging and gave himself a fighting chance to get there. Caleb placed fifth, which not only gave himself a chance to qualify for nationals, possibly receiving a wild card, he helped his teammate out in Josh Romero by being able to have that automatic qualifying spot because if Caleb would have dropped that fifth and sixth place match, Josh would have had to wrestle for a true fourth, and then we would have still possibly been fighting for a wild card. So those two guys performed well, gave themselves a chance to get to the tournament. Same with Colton Stafford, who placed in fifth in a very tough weight class at 157. I think we did all right for having holes in our lineup and not having the lineup that we look to have here in the future.
Yeah.
But obviously, we can do better.
Yeah. We'll talk about each one of the four qualifiers. Alex Gomez placed second at 141.
And Alex Gomez, I've been talking about all season. He's an awesome athlete. He's a great kid. He's one person I can go to and tell him to get after it, and he'll get after it every single time. He's a kid that'll wrestle every second on the clock, and I can depend on that. So they were qualifying two spots there, and so he knew what he had to do. He had to get to the finals. He beat another guy who would have had a chance for true second, but he beat that guy throughout the tournament. He just came up short in the finals, wrestling the number one guy in the country. That's always going to be tough. But with that being said, we've seen much improvement from the first time that they did meet.
Yeah. Then you guys have two at 149. Austin Roper got the auto. He placed third, and then Keenan Graff, who placed fifth, got a national wild card.
Yes, and Austin Roper, just an awesome competitor. Any other day, he finishes first in that tournament. We had some obstacles we had to overcome. He overcame them so that he can automatically bid. It just wasn't enough to get him the championship of the Hart Championship. So Keenan Graff was ranked going into the tournament, was pretty much the fourth. He was the fourth seed in that tournament. Came up short in the consolation semifinals match and lost in overtime. And he gave himself justice by winning his fifth place match. And just from having a great season all year and beating nationally ranked competition, winning tournaments, that's a huge reason why he was able to get that national wild card.
And then Josh Romero placed third at 165.
Mm-hmm. And Josh is a senior. Coming into this tournament, we had four seniors. Two of those guys qualified, Josh being one of them. And Josh is an awesome athlete. Just his talent level is out of this world. And he wrestles. When he wrestles to his ability, he's unstoppable. And so he ran into a lot of good competition. Number two in the country, number one in the country is in that weight class in this conference. And so to get past those guys is going to be tough. But he did what he needed to do to make sure he qualified. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do at the national tournament.
And that's next Friday and Saturday. What's the prep like for nationals?
The prep is the same as usual. I mean, we're not going to be reinventing the wheel here. We're definitely going to, continue to keep the conditioning up, fine tune some spots that we may have failed at the conference tournament because we're going to see some of those guys. We're lucky enough to have wrestled great amount of national competition to the guys that we see at the national level. We've probably seen throughout the season, so we can go back, look at videos, fine tune on things we made mistakes on. But they're going to be in the wrestling room practicing just like they always do, the same stuff they do every day.
And then your first year here at Benedictine, what are your thoughts on the season as a whole?
As the season as a whole, it was a struggle, but it wasn't a struggle in a bad way other than the holes in the lineup. You're a new coach, you get here and your lineup's thin, that's about it. But we've done the recruiting. The guys have not only helped with recruiting, but through their performance and through the way that they wrestle on the mat, I think they do us justice by making others want to come and wrestle here for this program. And so, 3-5 on the season, not bad when you're in the conference with 1 and 2 in the country. and then Baker's running in there at number 14 in the country. And so it's a struggle, but for 3 wins and 5 losses, 2 of those losses coming to 1 and 2, you can't really complain. And so I'm excited for what the future brings. This season makes me very excited for what the future brings.
How has the recruiting process gone for you so far?
Recruiting's going great. It's going through and networking with various different coaches on the junior college level and on the high school level. Not just that, get involved with the clubs and the kids clubs in our surrounding areas. And so I'm a person that likes to get out there and get to meet people and work with a lot of kids. And so I think the recruiting process is going well. We've got a lot of names. We've got a lot of what you might call blue chippers possibly coming and visiting and signing with Benedictine.
And then your expectations for nationals next weekend?
I take 4 guys in. I expect to come back home with 4 All-Americans. The good thing is Friday night we go in, we start wrestling Friday night. That night we'll know who's our All-Americans. But with this group of guys, the talent that they have, there's no doubt in my mind that we should be able to bring home 4 All-Americans.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck to you next weekend.
Thank you.
Benedictine College Wrestling Coach Marcus Cobbs on the BRSN Insider.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Back on the BRSN Insider, I'm sitting down with women's basketball coach Chad Folsom. Coach, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
We'll go back to Saturday, senior day, a 57-53 win over Culver Stockton. Got down double digits in the second quarter. Your thoughts on the game?
It was a hard-fought game. I thought Culver came in and played really well and played strong, and I was proud of the way our ladies battled back there in the second quarter, able to cut the lead. I think we were able to take the lead going into the half. And it was back and forth in the second half. And I thought our defense was really solid throughout. We missed, didn't shoot the ball exceptionally well, but our defense was good. And I thought we also were able to execute down the stretch and make plays when we needed to.
And Kristen Murphy in that game, 23-12 on senior day, a fitting performance in her last game.
Most definitely. The last couple games, 2-3 games, she's really been playing well for us. I think she's really relaxing and playing, which is huge. She's a great player in this league, and I feel like for about a month there, she really had a lot of pressure. She put a lot of pressure on herself and wasn't really enjoying it. And it's been great to see the last 2-3 games her just play the game, let the game come to her. And she's had two double-doubles here in a row and is really playing good basketball for us.
And you played Graceland last night, 76-58 win, led the whole way, dominated on the glass, 60-23 rebound advantage, 33-4 on the offensive glass.
Yeah, that was huge. I've never seen us rebound like that, and to have 33 offensive rebounds shows you what kind of effort we had. I think we had five rebounders have eight or more rebounds, and I think those same 5 had 4 or 5 or more offensive rebounds apiece. So we're really attacking the glass with multiple players and giving ourselves more shots, and to out-rebound them 33-4 on the offensive glass and 60-23 overall was a definite dominant performance on the rebounding.
And then last night, Lexi Villegas breaks the career rebounding record. She got up to 864. I guess talk about her career as a whole.
Well, Lexi's relentless. That's a good way to describe her. Extremely hard worker, and for 4 years been a defensive, tenacious player for us. And rebounding, she was when she got injured against Mid-American Nazarene, she was 7 rebound shot. Senior night, she got to get in there for the first time in a long time and got 1 rebound and was kind of just getting comfortable, moving around there with the brace on and all. But last night she played really well. She played about 16, 17 minutes, grabbed 8 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, broke the record and added 1 to it right now, and really played well and seems to be getting back into the way she played before. So we're excited down the stretch to have her back on the floor for us, and it's a good time to have her back.
And then last night, you mentioned Kristen had a double-double. Rachel Baumgartner also had a double-double. She filled that role for Lexi. Talk about what she's meant to the team over the last month or so.
She's really, really gotten more confident as a player out there on the floor for us over the last several games, and she attacks the glass. Last night she had, I think, 11 rebounds and 10 points, and is really finishing around the basket really well too, and really playing great defense. I take it back to when we played Avila. It was a while back, but Avila has the prolific score in Raven Bond, and we had Rachel on her most of the game, and Rachel held her to 7 or 8 points, I think, for the game. So she's doing it on both ends of the floor for us right now, and it's really exciting to see her really grow as a player.
And then Saturday, the season finale, you guys get Baker on the road. Never an easy game. Your expectations for Saturday?
Yeah, we always seem to have tight games with Baker. Always comes down to the wire, it seems like, and I expect Saturday to be no different. Two really good teams going at each other, and both teams know each other really well. So it's a matter of who can execute better and who can defend better.
And you guys are sitting at third in the conference right now. That's going to mean a home game for you guys on Tuesday. How important is that home game in the first round of the conference
tournament? It's big. That's what you play for all year. Set up a seeding in the postseason tournament, and so our teams put ourselves, like I said, third in the league right now in the South Division, and still playing really well. We're 22-6, and 5 of those losses are to teams in the top 10 in the country. So we've been playing well all year. So we put ourselves in a good spot so we can host a first-round game, and we're excited for that opportunity on Tuesday.
And I'll give you a chance to talk about the seniors. It was senior night on Saturday, so I'll let you just talk about this group of seniors and what they've meant to your program.
We've got 3 of them. As you mentioned, Kristen Murphy, Lexi Villegas, and also Jordan Kloster. I tell you what, this year they've really had to mature and grow up and be leaders for us. And with all the injuries we dealt with, and we lost 2 captains in the middle of the season, and those 3 have really stepped up and been leaders for us. And they bring positive energy in practice, on the court, in games. They lead by example. They're all hard workers and come ready to play every single day. And it's really great to see their senior year, going the way it is. They've been to the national tournament 3 years in a row and have the opportunity perhaps to go for a 4th time, which would be the only time in school's history to have have players go 4 years in a row to a national tournament. And it's pretty neat that those 3 all came in together, 4 years ago as freshmen and are pretty much all best friends. So it's good to see them having a great season this year.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Dakota.
Benedictine College women's basketball coach Chad Folsom on the BRSN Insider.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Back on the BRSN Insider, I'm sitting down with men's basketball coach Ryan Moody. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here, Dakota.
We'll go back to Saturday, a 93-89 win over Culver Stockton on senior day. Your thoughts on that game?
Well, we made a lot of shots, and that's kind of been the key for us this last month, I guess. When we've had success, we've banged in shots. I thought another game where the score was high, where we played good defense, to be honest with you. I thought we did a good job defending Culver, but they shoot so fast that there's going to be a lot of possessions in that game no matter what. And we did a great job of being efficient. We found a way. I thought our offense really came to life second half, grinded a little bit in the first half, and then found a way down the stretch to really bang in some shots. And everything looks better and seems a little easier when the 3 ball's going in. And we had some guys really make some threes in that game.
Yeah. That was also a game. We got down by 12 in the first half. What were you telling your guys when they were down 12?
I mean, just stick with the game plan. We thought that Culver was a very streaky team and that they were going to put pressure on us with their offense. And at some point, they were going to miss. We just kept saying we need to take away the easy 2s against Culver and make them bomb it from 3 and try to wear them out a little bit. And I don't know that they necessarily wore out. They started to miss shots and got us back in the game. And we made shots. We were more efficient with our possessions, and that really helped us. So, found a way to claw back. I'm proud of our guys. We've been in that situation a lot this year, down, found a way to claw back in, and thankfully we're able to get over the hump against Culver and get the win. That was a good one.
And Colby Nichols was a very intricate part of that. 23 points, went 6 for 6 from 3. Talk about his performance on Saturday.
And the thing about it is he was hurt. In that morning shoot-around, for some reason, just how backs are, he had bent over the wrong way and had locked his back up and had to have a chiropractor come in and give him a quick adjustment, and he was hurting. So I think maybe just the mind was off it. And he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's not a great 3-point shooter yet. And he was a great 3-point shooter that day. So, we've been talking about maybe his back needs to be banged up a little bit more the rest of the year, because he clearly was on fire and very confident. And then we've been talking a lot about that. We've had our struggles, but our guys have stayed confident, stayed aggressive, and that's what we want them to do. I mean, just keep, when you're open and your foot's down, we want you to fire, and he did that, and they went in.
And then last night, a 75-63 loss to number 24 Graceland. Your thoughts on the game as a whole?
I thought we battled. It all came down to there's about a 6.5-minute stretch to start the game where we couldn't score. And I think it was 13-0 to start the game, and then we kind of started to battle back, and they stretched it out to 15 or 16, and then we played decent. To be honest with you, the rest of the way out, and we were efficient. I thought we defended really well. We mixed it up on them quite a bit, held them under their average, held most of their guys underneath their average. At least they're really good players. We just didn't shoot it in. I mean, we were 6 for 27 from 3 at under 30% again. And, if we get to our normal numbers of 38%, that's 4 more shots. It's a tie game. If we make 10 threes, we're right there. And I hate to make it so simple, but, I thought we played well. We just didn't bang in the shots. And we need that. We need to stay aggressive, stay confident, but we've also got to make shots. And some of our guys who usually we count on making them didn't make them. They're not trying to miss. We want them to stay confident and aggressive. So, it just wasn't our night. Graceland's a great team. They had a lot on the line. I mean, essentially that game, if they win that game, they're going to Kansas City to the national tournament, and they knew it, so there was a lot of motivation on their end, and I thought we put up one heck of a fight. It just wasn't enough up there against a really good team.
Yeah. I'll give you a chance to talk about your seniors. You had the 2 guys that transferred in, Boris and Kevin, and then Christian's been here.
Yeah, I mean, Boris and Kevin have, it's a hard job, hard situation for one-year guys to come in and fit in and then fit in the locker room, fit in the culture, fit in personality-wise, and then also find their role and their place on the team. And I thought both guys have done – there's been some ups and downs, but they've done a good job of doing that. And Kevin and Boris brought us something that we didn't have. Boris brought us some size and a big guy that we can use to give us some depth at that position. And Kevin really helped us out at the point guard position.
Yeah.
And I think even maybe, surpassed a little bit of what we thought he could do offensively. I mean, if you look at his stats, he's averaging 15 a game, almost over 5 assists a game, and over 4 rebounds a game as a 5. I'll give him the credit of the 5'10" point guard, and I think that's a big credit to him and what he brings to this team. And when he's good, we're good.
Yeah.
So really, really thankful to have those guys join us. They've done a good job. Christian Hadley, I can't say enough about him. I mean, 4-year guy, has played in every single game he's been here except one. And that's insane. That's durability. That's consistent. I think we're now at 121 out of 122 games that he's stepped foot on the court. And so he has just been a rock solid player for us. Great leader, good defensive leader, talks, has really developed into a good shooter and a better offensive player for us. So overall, he's had an awesome career, a lot of great experiences, has been a leader in a year this year where maybe it hasn't been as many highs, and has been just rock solid and consistent. So we're gonna miss them all, and we hope that we can keep playing for a little bit, give these guys a little more length to their career.
Yeah, regular season finale on Saturday at Baker, a team that has struggled this year, but they're starting to find their way.
Yeah, I mean, they were tough. It's a kind of a similar deal to us. I mean, they are really good defensively. And have a great scheme, and they know what they are. They keep it low scoring. Very rarely do you see games in the 80s and 90s with Baker. It's 60s and 70s, and it's a gruel and a grind. And they're going to take away what you're good at or try to. And the other thing about it is it's a rival game. They're not far away. We know each other so well. I mean, so well. So both teams know what the other guy's going to do. The players know what the other players are going to do. The stats are out there. The video's out there. So it comes down to execution.
Yeah.
It comes down to doing what you do and doing it better than them. And that's oversimplification, but it's the truth, making shots. We got to go in there. We got to be confident. We've got to bang in some shots to loosen them up. And if we can do that, we can be successful. It will be their senior day. Another great challenge. We faced the Graceland challenge of them. Knowing that if they win, they've got, almost a 100% chance of going to Kansas City. Baker, it's senior night. We're all fighting for whatever's going to happen next week in the tournament, but it's their senior day. So we're excited to go out to the challenge. I mean, we'd love to go out there and get a win, and we're going to give it everything we got.
And that game, very, very important to conference standings. As it sits right now, a 3-way tie for second.
Crazy.
And a win basically seals a home game.
My assistant, John, or our associate head coach, John Pierce, said about 2 weeks ago, he's like, everything's going to come down to that last Saturday. And I'm like, well, maybe. Well, he was right. It does come down to the last Saturday as far as what's going to happen. If we win on Saturday, we'll host on Monday night. We know that. If we lose on Saturday, we could potentially still host on Monday night, but other things have to happen. Somebody's got to take care of some business. So, I honestly haven't looked at it too close, but it does come down to this, and we'd sure like to get a home game. And we're not going to think about that because that's not really what matters. We really just want to go down there and play a little better than we did Wednesday, give it a great team effort, get a win on the road against Baker, and then get ourselves ready Sunday for hopefully a little run in the tournament starting Monday.
How important would that home game be in the first round?
I mean, everybody. I think more importantly than anything else is the fact that you don't have to travel. I mean, you don't have to get on a bus, and you don't have to, like those kind of things. I mean, yes, it's awesome playing on your home floor. It would be big. It would be, but we're going to play wherever they let us. We want to keep playing, and we'll get that opportunity Monday. We hope it's at home. So if we can take care of business Saturday, we'll be here.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for
Thanks,
joining us.
Dakota.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Benedictine College men's basketball coach Ryan Moody on the BRSN Insider.